Hello and welcome to the Dogface Development Code Style Guide project on GitHub. So the Dogface Development Code Style Guide is published as Markdown files and as a web page. Basically what it is a style guide for each of our developers to follow along with to make sure that our code follows the same style and it's easy to build upon, easy to develop, and easy to maintain. So the GitHub repository can be sponsored by clicking the sponsor button. You can also stay tuned for future releases as the guide continues to work on. Otherwise, you can fork it to add your own contributions, or you can start to save it for later. So when you scroll down the page here, you can see that it is released in a GitHub Pages environment. Now that would be the web version of the code, and it's available in both HTML and Dockerfile languages. So we also see the README when you scroll down the page, and that shows us here the Dogface Development Code Style Guide, which is published as Markdown files and as a web page. The Dogface Development Code Style Guide has some key features, such as that it is a clear style guide. It's available for many programming languages, available for many programming platforms, enables a consistency across all projects, it's easy to implement, has reusable standards, is available in Markdown and on the web, and is cross-platform web browser based. You can access the latest version of the website by clicking this link right here and seeing the website version of the style guide. Otherwise, you can clone the Git repository or pull the Docker image. Now it's built in partnership with GitHub, the W3C, the W3 Schools, and Simple Analytics. And as it is a non-code project, it is licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International Public License, which can be found in the license file in their repository. So I'll go over a little bit more of what is in the style guide. So by looking at this style guide folder here, we see that it'll be divided into three separate categories: languages, quality, and repositories. Now languages goes to a specific style guide for each different language that we would program in, because there are different ins and outs for each and every language. Quality talks about code quality as a whole, things that should be introduced in code quality, and repositories talks about how we would organize our repositories, what kind of code we would add, things like contributing documents and so on and so forth. So we'll delve into languages first. So what's available in for Android languages such as Kotlin, Java, things like that: Arduino, C++, C, CSS for using Git and any kind of Git scripting that you might do, HTML, JSON, JavaScript, Markdown, PowerShell, and Python. So any of those languages each has their own specific style guide here, as well as having their own specific style guide per language in an HTML file, which is coming soon, as this code style guide is still under construction. Now if we move back to the main tree for the style guide, there's also a quality section. So this mainly talks more about our code quality. Then we can move into our repositories. And so there's things about repositories, how we would set up a repository, what we would do on GitHub, things like issue templates, pull request templates, discussions, contributing document licenses, so on and so forth, as well as a document on versioning. So how we would version our stuff using semantic versionings and so on and so forth. So this is a basic code style guide as of right now, but it is continuing to be worked on and will have more and more in-depth and more strict code style guide rules that can be easily adapted to your own project and changed in whatever way you feel fit. Otherwise, you can use it as a guideline for your own project to keep your code specifically styled the way you want it. So remember, you can just visit this repository on GitHub to see it all for yourself.